Have you ever really stopped to think about what it would take to genuinely like yourself? Not just, put up with yourself, but to truly appreciate the person you are? It's a journey so many of us are on, and today we're going to walk through a simple but really powerful roadmap to get there. It really all boils down to this one fundamental truth. What we want most is to feel good about ourselves. And that's not just some passing thought, it's a deep human need. It's that core desire for peace and acceptance from the one person we can literally never get away from, ourselves. So, this fundamental need brings us right into our first big idea, the universal desire. Let's dig into why this feeling of self-worth is something we're all chasing, and, why it can sometimes feel so incredibly hard to find. Now, what's so fascinating is that even though we all want it so badly, self-esteem can often feel like this slippery thing that just escapes us. It's a word we throw around, something we aim for, but actually holding on to it, that can feel like we're always missing some secret ingredient. And of course, many of us try different things to get it. We might jump into common self-help strategies or psychological fixes, the whole treat yourself culture. And look, those things can definitely help, but the key insight here is that they only help us up to a certain point. They're often just scratching the surface, not really getting to the root of things. So, if those techniques only get us so far, what's the missing piece of the puzzle? Well, this brings us to a really powerful turning point: the promise of support. This is where the whole story shifts from being a solo struggle to a journey we take with others. I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. We will love you until you learn to love yourself. What a powerful, incredible idea. It's this message of pure hope that you find in really supportive groups or friendships. It says, hey, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. It's okay. We've got you. It's like a bridge of love and acceptance that holds you up while you learn how to build your own. Now, that promise of support, it's not just a nice, warm feeling. It actually gives us the fuel we need to take action. And that brings us to the how-to part of this, taking practical steps of love. This is where we start to see how that outside support gives us the strength to finally start treating ourselves with a bit more kindness. And this right here is the absolute core of it all. We can take concrete actions no matter what we're feeling on the inside right now. You don't have to wait to feel love for yourself before you start acting in a loving way. In fact, the big secret is that the actions can come first, and they're what lead you to the feeling. So what do these actions look like? Well, first, just taking care of our personal responsibilities. This isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself, which proves you're someone you can rely on. Second, practicing kindness, literally doing something nice for ourselves. That simple act starts to change our inner critic into a friend. Third, paying attention to our own needs. It's about actually listening to what our body and mind are telling us, which sends the message that we're worth caring for. And finally, actively looking for our own good qualities. This is a huge one because it forces us to shift our focus from what we think is wrong with us to what's actually right. When you start doing these things day in and day out, it puts you on a totally new path. And that's what we'll explore in our final section, the path of discovery. This is the amazing payoff for all that patient, practical work. So when you start looking, what are you searching for? Simple things, really. Your intelligence, your sense of humor. Basically, all the wonderful qualities that you see so easily in your friends. The thing is, we often have those same qualities ourselves. We've just gotten into the habit of completely overlooking them. This is all about retraining our eyes to see what's already there. And through this whole process, acting with care, looking for your own strengths, a really profound shift happens. Just like the text says, we discover that we are, in fact, lovable people. It's not something you have to force or fake. It's something you simply uncover, one small action at a time. Okay, this all sounds great, doesn't it? But it brings us to the single most important question. So where do we even begin? How do we take this from a nice idea to something real in our day-to-day lives? And the answer is simple, it's powerful, and it's something every single one of us can do. It's a commitment, just for today. Just for today, I will do something that helps me to recognize and feel love for myself. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be ticking one small thing off your to-do list, buying yourself that coffee, or just taking 5 minutes to sit in quiet. It's not about fixing everything at once. It's about taking one deliberate, loving action for yourself, right now. And that is a starting point anyone can build on.